Kindness is the most important and affordable property what we can develop easily in our life. But the question is that how to what extent we should be generous. Everybody just praise the generous people. But there are many people who take advantage of the generosity of the other people. When their turn comes, they just see the thing with a folded hand and never take action to save another person's on the danger. And that's why the person who is showing generosity, it will be very difficult to show and maintain the generosity for him or for her alone. One person at its own effort cannot change this world, cannot change this society. But there are many persons who just take the advantage, and while in need, they take the generosity and just enjoy the kindness shown by the other. Now, question is that up to what extent we should set boundary. There is no doubt about it, the kindness is the most important property in our life. We should always maintain, and it is affordable also to some extent in everybody's life. But how far? I can tell you from my experience in my earlier life. When I got my job in Hindustan Zinc Limited, Rajasthan, India, at that time my burden was not that much because I was not married at that time. But anyway, I was planning to marry off. So in that conditions, when I was returning once from Rajasthan, Udaipur to my native place, Asansol, and there was a break journey. I waited in Jaipur station because that train was scheduled at the midnight. I observed the people, different people are coming, taking rest, and when their times are arrived, they used to leave that waiting room. I was taking rest in the waiting room. So around evening 7 p.m., I observed one family came with a lot of baggages, suitcases in the waiting room. They came, and after taking some rest on the bench on the waiting room, the person just initiated the talk. It was just like the breaking the ice, and we engaged in the talking. So in the meantime, he told that he lost everything while coming from Bengaluru to Jaipur. He lost many valuable loaded in a suitcase, but suitcase was not found. Somebody taken it. And he lamented that he had all the money, ornaments in those suitcases. And at that time in Bengaluru, there was an agitation for the Hindi speaking people, and it was quite visible and it was quite evident for me that maybe because of that this family was victim of that hatred feelings. And in the meantime, after some time, he asked clearly that he wants a help from me because he doesn't have any money to go further in his native town in Rajasthan. He doesn't have the money to eat food. He doesn't have the money to get the train fare or the bus fare, and he requested me. And I was feeling at that time generous that and happy also that if God is giving me the opportunity to help some family, why not? Because it was affordable for me. I couldn't remember properly, but I think I helped that family by giving 2,500 Indian rupees. I'm talking about in the year of 1997. It was a good amount at that time. Maybe it was a half of my salary. He promised that he will send all the amount in my money. But unfortunately, that money never came to me. This was not the first time. I suffered also another time in Rajasthan, Jawar mines. There also one family who came Udaipur as a visitor, as a tourist, and he managed to go to Jawar mines also. While I was coming from my office to take lunch, at that time I found that some people, they assembled and talking to each other what happened. So out of my curiosity, I tried to ask them what has happened. Then I came to know that one person, he was from West Bengal, so he is suffering because of pickpocketing his money. He had little kids. So many people, they were describing, okay, we'll talk about this helping things in our Kali Mandir committee, like that. But I thought, what's the need of this complexity? What amount he needs? And I asked, how much amount do you need to manage the thing? He mentioned that he wanted 1,500. It was with me in my residence. I promised him that I will give. He also promised he will repay me, because he claimed that he was his native place is nearby my native place, so he will give that money. So out of that simple belief, I helped him with 1,500 rupees. Again, I was expecting that definitely he will repay the amount, but that amount also never came. So now can you imagine that if people try to cheat a generous person, not one time, repeatedly, so how far my patience will remain intact, and how far I can practice my generosity to help the needy people? There must be some boundaries. So after that, no such requirement came to me, and I have also set my boundary. In case of extreme requirement only, I can show my generosity. Up to that level, fine. And up to the level of buying food and handing over the food instead of giving direct money, cash, I have set that idea. And I practiced the same idea after that, after getting cheated twice in my life because of their false statement. Afterwards, I realized, when I came to know after studying the body language of the people, I realized that there are something missing in their body language, which I missed to read properly because of my ignorance at that time. But at this matured age, I think I can clearly distinguish what is false and what is true. Now, question to you: you may practice generosity or kindness up to the extent possible, what you can afford, but not beyond that. I can tell you from my experience. Because once you gave the money, in case of lending the money also same thing happened to me. Many times people took money and they never repaid. And after that, if I want to ask them, when are you repaying, I might be treated as the most bad persons and the notorious persons in the society. Thereafter also, I avoid lending to money. And if I lend money to anybody in case of the need, I just forget. If anything I get returned, that will be bonus for me. So this is all about my better and bitter experience of showing generosity and kindness to the people. But you practice your own without getting influenced by my stories. Thank you.